Thank you for taking the time to review our Going Coconuts presentation. My name is Alex Wilson. I'm the CEO and President of Maderas Futuro, PreciousTimber.com. Okay, let's get right on the way. Today's presentation is about this wonderful tree of life, the coconut tree. In fact, for us and for many in the agricultural space, the tree is also a wonderful, perpetual income-producing asset. Before we get into coconuts a little bit and cover some topics surrounding the coconut, it fits perfectly for our corporate philosophy, people, planet, and profit. We focus on people, we focus on the planet, and we're a for-profit company. Particularly like to focus on the kids down in Central America. They're the future. That's the future of our societies. And education's important, family's important, and a great career as well. Little Wilbur, one of our forester's sons, just a special little kid. And yes, we're talking about trees as a great place for us to keep some money, to grow some money, to pass it on generationally, but to kids like little Wilbur, this is a lifeline. Raising a tree is a lifeline to a higher standard of living. As we direct the message today to those individuals that are accredited investors, we work strictly with accredited investors here at Maderas Futuro. You may have heard a presentation or two of mine in the past where I've referred to Bob Rice's book, The Alternative Answer. Alternative asset classes such as infrastructure, peer-to-peer lending, master limited partnerships, in particular non-traditional investments that have driven the world's best portfolios over the past 20 years, portfolios that have doubled and doubled again, whilst people that have other investors that have got maybe 60 or 70% of their portfolio stuck in the stock market. Of course, they haven't seen the doubling and doubling again. They've had some pretty volatile roller coaster rides. Timberland is one of the asset classes that the ultra wealthy and high net worth and institutional endowment investment programs gravitate to. Farmland as well, of course, is a favorite of the ultra wealthy because it's a great asset class to own, and it's also one that produces an annualized income. Today we're focusing on the coconut tree, and Pepsi-Cola now is the world's largest grower of coconuts all across the world. Pepsi entered the Coca-Cola business some time ago. Coca-Cola has done the same. Lots of other companies are either investing in coconuts or certainly purchasing coconuts at a more rapid pace than ever before. Now, those of us that may want to go back a few years might remember that it was generally at grandma's house or at mom's house on a Sunday when she's cooking up some cakes and doing some baking that we're all excited about coconuts. And of course, maybe a little after that, it was the coconut smell in our suntan lotion. But it's a dramatically and majorly changed industry today. Go down any supermarket aisle and start checking out the numbers of different products that have coconut as part of their ingredient today. You'll find there's not hundreds, but there's thousands, probably even tens of thousands of products that use coconuts today, especially in places like the beauty arena, shampoos, creams, soaps, lip balm. The water industry has dramatically changed. Coconut water is probably the biggest hit of the last 25 years, an addition into the beverage arena that's now rivaling the sales almost of orange juice, with the three biggest companies in the business, Vita Coco still leading the charge. Rapidly behind that is Pepsi-Cola with one, and behind Pepsi is Coca-Cola with Zico. But did you know that the world's most quality, the world's most effective activated carbon comes from the shells of coconuts? In fact, the U.S. is the largest importer of activated carbon that comes from coconut shells. Did you know that the backyard barbecue industry is rapidly and dramatically embraced coconut charcoal bricks and coconut charcoal for cooking? The food industry, not just from a baking point of view, but from protein bars, energy bars, meal replacement bars, they all seem today, every manufacturer has a one or two lines that carry coconuts. You may not know that the biofuels arena is an amazing amount of coconut, using an amazing amount of coconuts today. Even the airline industries have been using coconut biofuels to fly their jumbo jets from one place to another. Virgin Atlantic flew a jumbo jet from Heathrow, London Heathrow, to Amsterdam on a biofuel commodity. So we've got a tremendous growth, a tremendous number of new applications for coconuts. I was out on a vacation a few years ago to Bora Bora with my family. We stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel, where they had their thermal power station that was driven and used coconut oil for its biofuel. They had a deep seawater air conditioning system going very green. A lot of these larger resorts are going very green, very sustainable. Ford and Scott's Miracle-Gro are researching the use of coconut fibers right now for reinforcement of molded plastic parts to reduce the use of petroleum inside our cars, because we've got a lot of plastics and composite materials that outgas these petroleum or formaldehyde, causing sort of health concerns for people. Even the upholstery inside of these vehicles now using the fibers from a coconut. You may know that some of the high-end mattress companies use the coconut fibers inside their mattresses. And of course, just regular products around the house that you may not be familiar with, brooms and brushes and plant pots, and even at the front door where you want to scrape off your shoes before you get in. And of course, hanging baskets, the mesh that's used to plant the potting soil. On the right, you'll see the actual potting soil is mixed with premium grade coconut cure. And also you've got the coconut mulch. If you take a look in the center of the screen, you've probably seen this all across the world, where there's concern for soils erosion or soils displacement on hillsides, and they put this knitted mesh together that's made of coconut fibers, and then inserted into that, of course, are the seeds of various foliage growth cover, so we can keep the soils in place if there's heavy rain. On the left-hand side, you probably have a doormat that's sitting right outside your door right now that probably has your family name on it or a certain pattern. That doormat's probably made out of coconut fibers. But one of the most thrilling and unexpected aspects, if you will, of the coconut world is the health benefits that are now being researched more and more. Alzheimer's treatments, dementia, Parkinson's, the medium-chain fatty triglycerides and medium-chain fatty acids of virgin coconut oil are quite fascinating, and the research is stunning. Who knows where all that will go? I know that there's publication after publication written on the topic, whether it's a weight loss, whether it's skin care or hair loss, whether it's certain doctors like Dr. Bruce Fife that talks about some preventative measures for health cures and what have you. It's kind of fascinating. I mean, a lot of these things still need scientific data behind them, but it's certainly not slowing down the demand on coconuts when you have people like Dr. Oz and others talking about the studies that they've seen, how coconut oil helps our bodies mount resistance to viruses and bacteria and things like that. And then, of course, there's the coconut tree itself. Once the tree's done with its productive life, it produces just the most unbelievably valuable hardwood. It's a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing looking wood. So it's a fascinating tree. It's getting a lot of attention. And of course, the demand on the coconut space now is astronomical. The last 10 or 15 years, we've seen unbelievable amounts of growth on an annualized basis, which means there's a supply side challenge. You can't plant 10% more every year across the world as the growth continues to expand. And plus, some of the countries that grow coconut trees, for example, are places like India or Malaysia or the Philippines, where they don't have the best practices that we're so used to in the Western world when it comes to farming. Some of their trees are very old. They need to be replaced. Others got blew down, for example, in a typhoon in the Philippines. So some of the areas of the world that grow these things are heavily shackled and challenged. And that causes and creates a great opportunity for growers like us in Central America that have fertile soils, wonderful tropical weather, and still very affordable labor forces and a very affordable farmland. We work, our firm works strictly with accredited investors, qualified accredited investors. And here's what we do. Inside of our managed plantations, we offer a deeded, fee simple approach. A newly planted coconut plot is transferred from our name into your name as a simple real estate transaction if you'd like to access this agricultural space. So no, we're not a fund. We're not a real estate investment trust. We're not a publicly held company where you buy shares. We're not any kind of managed partnership. Simply work with accredited investors with a fee simple real estate transaction where you own the land, you own the trees, and you have the choice of us or others to offer you farm management services. Our minimum placement, our minimum offering is $100,000, purchases 6 deeded acres of newly planted coconuts, and that comes with 600 newly planted trees. Now, coconut trees, once they're to their mature age, which is age 6, they'll produce an average of 150 coconuts per year per tree. Some of the species will produce more, some of the varieties will produce less. They start producing actually in year 4, but they don't become fully mature until year 6. So they sparingly produce in year 4, a little bit more in year 5, and then in year 6, now you're the start of a 50-year productive life. In Central America, the farm gate price currently for coconuts, meaning the price in which the farmer gets from the wholesaler, and there's lots of wholesalers that want to purchase these coconuts. Here's some pictures from one of the companies that we're considering working with, sending container load after container load after container load of coconuts up to the United States from Central America. They pay about 30 to 35 cents per coconut. We're also considering heavily, and actually have a detailed analysis underway right now of building our own coconut processing facility. But 6 deeded acres producing 150 coconuts per tree with 600 coconuts on those 6 acres produces a net after expenses and after management fees of approximately $17,000 in revenue every year. So it's a nice income producing tree. And of course, as I mentioned, the trees are productive for 50+ years, which means you can enjoy the income now and pass that income on in your legacy planning for your heirs. It's a great asset. It's a great commodity. It's an excellent diversification. One commodity, the coconut, diversifies your money across many uncorrelated industries. And some experts say that agriculture is going to be the big thing of the next 20 years. In fact, Jim Rogers says anything to do with agriculture, whether it be seeds, fertilizer, water, it's going to be extremely profitable over the next 20 years. So why farmland? Why would someone consider an allocation of farmland into their portfolio? Well, not just particularly farmland, but farmland in Central America and in particular Nicaragua. Nicaragua happens to be sitting on the world's 6th largest freshwater aquifer. So it's very arable farmland, and right now is probably the last chance to get some of that farmland before prices skyrocket because of the Chinese and other individuals coming into the region. Now, Nicaragua's 26 years into their democracy. Their economy's booming, their population's educated, it's a very low labor cost workforce, and a $50 billion inter-ocean canal is projected to be finished within the next 6 to 8 years, creating 400,000 new jobs for a country of 6 million people. The Chinese, the Europeans, the Americans, they want this very fertile black soil where there's an amazing amount of water under the ground. Next to it, by way of the world's 19th largest freshwater lake, and then of course tropical rain. I mean, I'm sitting in California today, where California, we just heard today that we have to go on a 25% reduction in the use of water here. So if you're interested in learning more about this, come visit us. Here we are standing on the top of one of our plantations overlooking the 19th largest freshwater lake in the world, and 2 volcanoes sitting right there in the background. It's a spectacular part of the world. We have a great time sharing our story, where it's an educational trip. It's not a sell me kind of a trip. So people come, they tour the plantations, they meet the experts, they talk to the engineers and the foresters and the agricultural staff, and you learn about this part of the world and how coconuts are an amazing addition to an investment portfolio. Email, go on our website, request our white pages, why now could be the smartest time to buy affordable farmland in Nicaragua, and why big business is going coconuts over coconuts. If you're particularly interested and like to be considered to be included in this year's 2015 planting, please request our Going Coconuts booklet. We have a very limited number of allocations that we can make in 2015, very limited indeed. And so if you'd like a personal one-on-one consultation to talk to me about your interest in possibly owning your own coconut plot, your own coconut farm, deeded in your name, producing income every year for you, please contact me personally about that. You can do so by emailing info@precioustimber.com. That's info@precioustimber.com. You can go to the website precioustimber.com, or you can call us on our toll-free number 855-888-6288. Once again, 855-888-6288. Consider this. Thank you for your time. Hopefully I'll see you on one of our discovery tours.
Coconuts. The simple mention of the name conjures up the sights and sounds of tropical islands, crystal blue waters, white sand beaches, and fun in the sun. But for thousands of years, people living on those islands have used this tree of life as a source of food, clothing, shelter, and even the healing power of its oil. Today, however, science and big business have unlocked amazing secrets, and now the world, it seems, is going coconuts. We all remember our favorite food, or the smell of coconut in our childhood suntan lotion. Lately, though, this healthy fruit has made its way into thousands of everyday products and unique applications. From cooking to cosmetics, automobile parts to energy-efficient fuels and more, the global demand for coconuts is exploding. Meeting that demand has spawned an unprecedented agricultural opportunity, one that you can be a part of. Did you know that the coconut has found its way into virtually every shelf inside your local supermarket? Coconut oil, butter, flakes, flour, milk, ice cream, soap, toothpaste, shampoo, skin cream, candy, cookies, breakfast cereal, energy bars, pet food, tea, coffee, alcoholic beverages, and more. Every part of the coconut is used. Nothing is left behind. High-grade activated carbon used for filtration is made from coconut shells. Natural, cleaner-burning charcoal is made from coconut husks, and has backyard grillers now increasingly cooking with coconut bricks. Energy innovation and green technology now incorporates coconut biofuels in buses, taxis, and thermal power stations. In 2008, Virgin Airlines Chairman Sir Richard Branson flew a Boeing 747 jumbo jet from London to Amsterdam on a biofuel mixture that contained 150,000 coconuts and cocoa palms. Coconut water has grown into a multi-billion-dollar industry in less than a decade. Beverage giants Coca-Cola and PepsiCo have invested millions to join the space, and experts are speculating coconut water's appeal could rival both orange juice and sports drinks. And if that wasn't enough, health food companies and healthcare scientists are now studying and conducting clinical trials that could help Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and dementia patients. Demand pressures are mounting, but they are not yet matched by the supply side chain. This is where the opportunity lies. Simple supply and demand factors could easily lead to higher coconut values. That equates to greater investment profits for coconut growers. Adding coconuts now to a balanced and diversified financial strategy equals a smart financial decision. Here's how owning coconuts could work for you. You purchase the fertile tropical farmland, plus the coconut trees. Our foresters can manage the growth of your trees. Each year, your trees will produce nuts, and they can be sold to generate profits. Coconut trees can be a wonderful source of regular income, as the trees are productive for up to 50 years. Owning your own coconut-producing property is also an investment in real estate. And according to some investment experts, farmland values are expected to perform remarkably well over the next 20 years. We want you to join us and help plant 1 million new coconut trees, which in turn will create jobs, educate children, feed families, assist science, reduce emissions, and make a difference, all while making a wise and profitable real estate investment for you.